All right, it's time for a My Life with Multiple Sclerosis video. I haven't done one in a while. I was going to do a walking video past few days, but the wind's been too crazy during the day when I want to do it, and that's just going to blow into the microphone and make it hard to hear. So I figured I'd just do another cleanup video, getting through some more files and stuff that I got. Straighten myself out here a little bit. Quick update on me. I had the UTI issues, had to deal with all the crap with going through my PCP, then going through my neurologist, then going through some other PCP in another town that was further away, and finally got the sample put in, positive, medication sent. Only got a week's worth of medication. He wasn't sure if it was the right one. I don't think it got all out, so I'm fighting it right now with a ton of 6 cranberry pills a day. Just trying to make sure it's wiped out, but I just still feel kind of funky from it, so I don't think it's all gone. And then, of course, my sister had one too, and hers turned into a bladder infection. So it's like, I don't want that. That's why I got ahead of the game. And they all took forever to get back to me, so I got behind the game anyways in the long run. And then after I was done with all the meds, I contacted the doctor, asked him, was the result of the one test he was waiting on? Did he give me the right medication? He said he did. I told him I wasn't really happy with the results, and he's like, well, we can do another round, do another test and see if it's out of here or not. And it's like, well, I don't feel like playing the runaround game again right now, so I'll just ride it out and do my at-home test and see what happens in a few days. But yeah, start out with the nasty shit. Uh, as far as therapy goes, I started last week. I started on my first day of therapy from my neurologist, my MS neurologist, not knowing what I was going in for. If it was for the all over body pain, if it was for the fatigue, or if it was for gait issues. It said gait issues on the order sheet, but uh, that doesn't really make sense when I've got a crooked foot. I'm going to have gait issues. Whether or not I got MS or not, it just increases it with the MS. Uh, but yeah, I went in, just did the evaluation. We talked about stuff, what I wanted from it and stuff. Explained to her that they had me on no medications at all for any of my issues. Uh, one medications they gave me baclofen again, which I weaned myself off of and don't want to go back on. I'm trying to fight my spasms a different way. But I'm like, screw it, at least I got a bottle in case they get really bad. It's like they get worse usually in the. Oh, Christ, now. No, it is usually summertime that they get worse. So I'll find out after this weekend with the free comic book day and everything, with all the running we're going to be doing, see what it's like, and then I'll decide if I'm going to have to jump back on baclofen or not. But it's like they had me up to 8 to 9 of them a day and more if I needed them, and I just don't feel good about throwing all these medicines in me if they aren't fully doing anything. I get the same results out of rubbing TheraWorks on my legs. And it's like baclofen you take and you hope it helps you sleep through the night. But I'm still jumping up, even with taking 4, 3, 4, 5 of them. At bedtime, I'm still jumping up about 3, 4 hours later with spasticity problems. So it's like that it's just not worth it in the long run to keep throwing that shit in your gut if it's not gonna fully do anything. If I'm gonna still have the effects, because I'm not gonna sleep for 3 hours, wake up, take more medication, and hope I can sleep for another few hours. Instead, I'm trying to find other ways to fight through it. And now with the lymphedema wraps on the legs and stuff. That sets things off in a whole different manner now because that heats up my legs. And with it getting into the 70s now, and we're going to be hitting the warmer weather because we haven't even hit summer yet. In spring, we're hitting 70s. I have a feeling it's going to be a warm summer, and if it is, it's going to set my spasticity out. I want to go out and enjoy this weekend because some of the next events will be right in the dead heat of summer, and not sure how that will go overall with the body this year now that we're on no disease modifying therapy, we're on no other types of medications for MS stuff, and yeah, we're done with the Maven Clod and everything. So it's like where it's going to put me this summer is going to be very interesting. It could end up bedridden. It could end up the same as I am right now. Could end up wheelchair ridden. What's up, Lemmy? Yelling at me, yelling at me. I got the door open for you. You can cruise around, can have fun and enjoy the weather. But yeah, I just ran to the dump quick. Get rid. I decided to cook a turkey this week. Still had two turkeys left from the Thanksgiving deals last year, so you can't pass up 30 cents a pound for turkey. 30 to 50 cents, depending on if you want a butterball or if you want the store brand. But I still had two turkeys sitting in the freezer from the specials, so I cooked one up this past week, and I had to throw it all. Well, I went to the dump today to get rid of the carcass and everything and the bones, and threw my grease container in there, and it just went right to the ground alongside the bag and smashed open. Luckily, I got the bag in the uh, dump quick enough to get it in the machine before it started leaking. Even though I noticed there was also a couple bones poking their way out through the bag. So luckily, I didn't leak all over their floor, which I was nervous about, and backseat of my truck. Uh, but yeah, what were you talking? Therapy. Yeah, she did the eval and had me do a couple walking moves and a couple other things. And within 2 steps of walking, she instantly knew I had no ACL in my knees. Uh, I had a crooked foot and stuff, some problem with my foot. She didn't know what it was, but she could instantly see everything. So she's like, it's gonna be interesting. We're trying a few different things. I got a few at home exercises I'm doing this week, which are basic lunges and stuff like that, sit stands, leg lifts, things like that. And then with that and my lymphedema therapy exercises and stuff, that's a good hour's worth of things I got to do a week or a day. I mean, uh, try and get it out at least 5 days a week, but I try for 7. See what happens. She likes my stair push-ups that I told her, since I have to go upstairs with my hands on the steps. I stop and do 20 push-ups every time I come up a flight of stairs, so that way I can get up to 100 push-ups a day in with as much running up and down I do, unless I gotta get to the bathroom, then I don't stop to do the push-ups or something like that. But I try and do that, and so that helps with the upper body, and then she's working my lower body, and the lymphedema is working my whole body. So we'll see how it all works, see if any of the issues go away. I very highly doubt it, because this first week of doing the stuff, all my issues have gotten worse again. So that's not good. And then being out of my one bladder medication, I messaged them. They never get back to me. I called them today, and she's like, "Well, I sent a message to your PCP. You got to go through your PCP to get your refills." I'm like, "Well, that's the first person I contacted, and they said I have to go through you because they didn't prescribe that medication." But it's like, I got an appointment, I think, in a couple weeks with my annual health and wellness exam with the PCP. And we're gonna have a little talking to about all this UTI stuff and this refill medication shit. Because she didn't subscribe any of the medication I'm on, so how am I supposed to get any of my stuff refilled? Am I supposed to call doctors from the past and a whole different franchise that I don't work with anymore, a different hospital system? I can't get a hold of half these people. Half these people quit their practice, and that's why I ended up coming into this hospital unit medical organization and left the other ones. Uh, I don't know. I got to figure this out because they really screwed the pooch with this. You used to be able to contact your PCPs, nurse, and all your refills. It doesn't matter. I need a refill. They refilled it. Now, because doctors are dumbasses and gave opioids and everything to everybody like candy, now we have to regulate stuff so ridiculously that it's just sucking up time, sucking up money. People are sitting with medical issues longer before they get help because they're waiting for people to figure out what to do so you can get your medication that you're supposed to have all the time. Anyways, so I don't. It's just the whole system's a joke. I want to go. I'm going to contact a medical lawyer in the next few weeks. I want to know. It's like their doctors take everything more serious than regular doctors. It seems like every time I've gone to a medical or a insurance doctor, they get way deeper into detail than the doctor I am going to normally for the same item. So I was thinking about getting some stuff researched and looked at through the lawyer's doctor and see if I am getting screwed because it's like with my aortic dissection, the hole in my aorta's in the bend of my aorta supposedly ripped open. I was supposed to die back in 2000 in intensive care and the Mayo Clinic, and spent 2 weeks there, totally destroyed me and my wife's whole financial lifestyle, everything, and just wiped us out. And it's like you end up with $500,000 in bills because you're in intensive care for a couple weeks, and it shit adds up quick. So don't know. I figured maybe their doctor could just give me a whole once over and give me the actual opinion of what they think because I've had at least 5 different cardiologists tell me different things. One seen nothing, one sees a scar that gets bigger and smaller, one seen the hole, one went over all kinds of scans and couldn't find anything to match what they were saying. So between that and being put on medications for stuff that you didn't have and all this other stuff, it's like overall, all these years, it's like I'm just taking all this shit for no reason and stuff I do need, no one will give me. And it's like, what's the purpose? I mean, I don't, should I feel like I'm safe? Should I feel like I have a medical team that'll take care of me? I mean, I've lived over half my life without ACLs in my knee because of some piece of shit that decided to play Roadhouse and kick my knee out from the side when I was out on the dance floor. No one will do the surgeries. Keep every time I'm told that I'm going to get surgery, it gets bumped up another 10 years. It's like, so you have no chance at living a normal life again after you've been injured so badly that you can't recover from certain things and certain things will never be fixed. So it's like, I just figure what the hell. I hear about this medical malpractice shit all the time. I want to know what their doctors would say about all the issues I'm dealing with and how they've been taken care of over the past years. But we'll see. But other than that, therapy, I go back tomorrow for week 2. We're going to do once a week for the next like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, and then we'll pump it up to once every other week, I think. See how it goes. She's got a variety of things we're gonna try. The place I decided to go to has tons of brand new equipment. I'm hoping I get to try some of it out. I really wish I could find a place around the area that has a underwater treadmill. Uh, I could have swore someone told me that they went to one that was within a half hour or so from here, but I can't find no information on it. Talking to doctors and therapists and stuff, no one knows either. So, but that would be great for the knees because then you're not putting all the pressure on the knees and stuff, and you're not pounding on them and stuff when you're running. So that's why I'd love to try the underwater treadmill, but we'll see what happens. Just play the therapy out for right now, see where that takes us, and then eventually up it to something else down the road. Cool thing is, though, I did mention needling, and she says they do have licensed needlers in there that do work with the feet and the knees and all that stuff. So I will be able to get some needling done here in the near future. So I'm looking forward to that. That's awesome. I was worried about that 'cause the place I was going to go, I was going to go to because I would get needling done. But now I don't have to worry. I can still get it done here. So we'll let you know what's up with that. But other than that, let's look at some couple few different MS related things that were sent to me and see if there's anything helpful. I could have swore I did this one not long ago because of the nausea problems I was having with certain medications and stuff, and when I had the stomach problems and all that. But we'll go over it again quick just in case, but some things that natural ways that you can get rid of nausea if you want to try it. I mean, ginger's obvious. That's lots of people tell you about ginger if you mention the nausea issues. There's lots of ways you can eat it. I like to skin my ginger. I'll take whatever ginger I need for a recipe, and then the rest of the ginger root that I have left, I'll skin it, chop it into little, like, quarter size, coin like pieces, and I'll throw them in a little Ziploc baggie and toss them in the freezer. That way I can use them for some recipes down the road, or if I have any nausea issues or anything like that, when I have my cup of coffee, I'll throw one of those pieces into the coffee. Gives it a nice ginger flavor and aroma to it. That's a good way to get it in there. They do have ginger candy that you can buy, just a caramely soft candy that you just chew on if you're nauseous. I got a bag of those somewhere from when I was, what the heck was I dealing with? I think it was my Mavenclad year one. Year one of Mavenclad. And year two, you had nausea issues, but year two wasn't as bad as year one because I prepped for it differently. But yeah, that had me throwing up and stuff, and then I had those. Oh, I tried that stupid Ozempic shit that everybody's on for weight loss. My PCP put me on that, but without being a diabetic. If you're not a diabetic and you take that Ozempic stuff or similar stuff that's made for diabetics, your body will fight against it, and you will have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, all that stuff. Stomach issues. Felt like there was a cannonball in my stomach during a certain part of the day after taking that stuff. And just, yeah, I think that's too risky for people. If you're not diabetic, they should wait till they have the one that's designed for people with, that's not for not just for that, not for diabetes, but for just about anyone. I've heard about the one that's coming out or is out. My PCP wants to have me try it when it does come out. So I have a feeling at this next health and wellness appointment, I'll be hearing more about it. I'll let you know. But a daily dose of ginger may be an effective alternative to anti-nausea medications in a variety of situations, including during pregnancy and after chemotherapy. And it's like the nausea medications they give you, those stupid ones that dissolve in your mouth. Oh my God, they got a nasty aftertaste. At least the ones they gave me just tasted like complete shits. And it didn't do half as well as stuff like ginger does. So I'd rather try the natural routes first and then go the other route. They say peppermint aromatherapy. I got peppermint in my diffuser, so I mean, never tried that when I was nauseous, but I should, and I just never remember these things. When you're sick at the moment, if you don't have it stuck in your head, it's just, you might not think about it unless you go back to it. But smelling peppermint oil at the onset of nausea may help reduce your symptoms. So yeah, I'll have to try that out if I could ever remember that. It's like I haven't had nausea problems, and then the past 5 years, I've been having lots of nausea issues with different medications and stuff. Getting really old. Acupuncture and acupressure. They got, I know there's one thing that's, you can, sorry about that. Raspy throat, should take a swig of water. Uh, some evidence suggests acupuncture may reduce nausea during pregnancy. However, other research in this area is inconclusive, just like everything they tell us. All these wonderful reports that I read constantly say, well, they need more input. They got to figure out if it's really helpful or not, but we're going to say it is. And then they change their mind a year later, and it's a different way they want you to go. But, oh, water's almost empty. All right. They say there's a benefit stimulating the Niogan acupuncture point, also known as the P6 or inner frontier gate point. You can stimulate this nerve on your own by simply placing your thumb 2 to 3 fingers widths down from your inner wrist between the two prominent tendons. You can definitely feel those tendons. And just basically work that area right there. And it's supposed to help with nausea. So I can actually feel a little something there, kind of like in my throat. But yeah, I don't know. I probably will never remember to try it when I have it, but it's something to check. Basically, 2 to 3 fingers down in between the two tendons, just do little circles in that area, or just push against it. I guess push against it because it's acupressure. So, lemon, citrusy smells, whether from a freshly cut lemon or from store-bought essential oils, may help reduce pregnancy-related nausea. I don't know why these are all pregnancy-related nausea. You'd think they'd help any type of nausea. You can specific controlled breathing techniques are a free and effective home remedy for nausea. And it's like stuff like inhaling through your nose to a count of 3, holding your breath to a count of 3, then exhaling to a count of 3, and basically doing your basic meditative style breathing. It's like you want to, with meditation and stuff, you want to breathe in through your nose, expand your stomach, so you know that you're breathing through your stomach, and then breathe out long. It's better to breathe out 2 to 3 times longer than you're breathing in. That helps with the lymphedema stuff, I've learned. But yeah, it gets you into a deeper state of meditation also, at least it does for me. But, there's certain spices may successfully reduce the frequency and severity of nausea. However, large doses may be required And more studies are needed to confirm these effects. We're too stupid to just figure shit out. We're just going to keep dumping money in all these tests and just tell you what we think's good for you. But they got fennel powder, which may reduce menstrual symptoms, including nausea, and help people experience shorter periods. Cinnamon, which may decrease the severity of nausea that some people experience during menstruation. Cumin extract, which may help improve symptoms such as abdominal pain, nausea, constipation, and diarrhea in individuals with irritable bowel syndrome. Relaxing your muscles, whether through massage or PMR techniques, may help relieve nausea. For pregnant people who are experiencing nausea, vitamin B6 is a safe and potentially effective alternative to anti-nausea medications. Eating small, frequent meals and opting for foods that are rich in protein or easy to digest may help ease nausea. Staying upright after eating could also be beneficial. Physical activity may help decrease nausea and vomiting. Certain types, such as yoga, might be especially beneficial. It's like, yeah, when you're got nausea and vomiting, just get out there, go run a marathon. So I would expect these to be things you'd want to do before you got nauseous. But, and dehydration may worsen nausea for some people, which I agree. I was doing certain things that it activated the throw upness parts. Drinking plenty of fluids can be beneficial, particularly if you experience nausea with vomiting. So, well, there's some basics. It seemed like they were focusing more on pregnancy than anything else. So that's why I wanted to look at. Well, it doesn't say anything in the headline about for pregnancy, so it was just natural ways for nausea. But we got to make sure that my thing's recording still. Yep. Because I'm on a whole different site when I'm doing this. I should run separate computers. All right. How MS affects our speech. Speech can be really funky with MS. It's like you can be normal 1 minute, you can be choppy the next. You can have a great thought process in your head, and with our cognitive issues, lose everything within a matter of a second or two. I get these moments where it's when I'm speaking, it's kind of like I can't really demonstrate it now all of a sudden, but it's like I'm ventilating, uh, scared, choppy sounding speech coming out of you. You're struggling to get little pieces of words out, and it's just very, very that type. It's like it's just your breathing and your speech is just all being chopped up together, and it's just sounds like you're kind of like about to burst into tears, or you're having a anxiety style breakdown or something like that. But it's just our speech. It just all of a sudden just goes to that. He's dying on the computer. Better get her plugged in. That's not a good thing. It's almost like you're you're really scared, about to cry. It just sounds like that. It just when it comes out, it just sounds so weird. But just our speech. There's nothing I found I could do when it's happening to change it. But see, they get our speech problems are divided into two types as aphasia and dysarthria. Aphasia occurs when something interferes with the brain's ability to process language. You might forget a word or have difficulty communicating through writing. That's a thing that's really weird because I'll be writing and I'll be fine, and all of a sudden my hand stops working. And I'm like, it starts curling, and I'm just struggling to finish like signing my name or something, and I just can't anymore. My brain and my hand don't work together. And it happens with drawing and stuff too every now and then. But it's just so weird. So weird. Just arthria is tied to a loss of motor function or muscle control. This makes it harder to form words. Dysarthria is more common among people living with MS. That's the one that I was talking about, where the words just everything comes out just sounding so weird and choppy and funky. So speech problems are quite common among people living with MS. They can happen at any stage and may range from mild to severe. And it's like over the years with my audio podcast, I've had lots of different sounding episodes. I don't know what kind of condition I was in at the time. And definitely noticeable. But that's why I do the podcast and stuff, because of my cognitive and speech problems. And it has helped so much because I'm doing it so often that I don't have as many screw ups as I used to with the speech issues and stuff. But they can come and go whenever they want. There's no rhyme or reason for it. Doesn't I've never noticed it being any certain environmental effect or anything like that. So it just happens when it happens. Speech problems. You can work with a physician on a treatment plan that can slow progression of the condition. Uh, Speak slower. Take it easy when you're tired. It can affect our speech a lot. Talk with your body. Type it out. I mean, nowadays, more people text than they speak anymore. So that makes it a little easier, but I hate texting. So work with a therapist. You can go to a speech therapist, physical therapist. There's all kinds of different types of therapies that can help with word clarity and voice strength and stuff like that. They got assisted devices like text to voice devices uh, with amplifiers, voice. There's all kinds of vocal related technology now that can help speak for us, so we don't have to speak as much. They say plan it out. Now, this person obviously doesn't know much about MS. If you're gonna plan out your speech, that's one of my biggest problems. I can have a whole thing laid out that I want to talk about, or I'll have notes written and stuff that I want to talk to a doctor about. I'll have all kinds of things set up for it. And when I go to do the actual item, it comes out sounding like a 5-year old, and doesn't. I don't get half the points across that I had written down anyways for some reason. I just don't understand that concept, why I can't take a piece of paper and just put it down, read it in front of me, and or just at least highlight certain things of something without having problems with it. But almost every time, so I ran into a friend that I haven't seen in a while yesterday, and I've been wanting to ask him about something for like years now. And every time I see him, I talk, and then as soon as I take off, I'm like, ah, shit, I forgot to mention that again. Drives me nuts. Uh, Check in with others. Most people are happy to repeat back what you said. Most people don't understand what I said, so they wouldn't want to repeat it back. Throat symptoms. Numbness in the throat can make swallowing difficult. It can also affect speech. Is the same issues that affect swallowing also affect speech. And with MS, uh, many of us can have problems with eating, chewing, feeling like food stuck in our throat, and drooling. Uh, yeah, it's like even lately today, I had just my regular medications. I think it was 4 pills. 2 of them were the cranberry capsules, and it's just I've been trying to get them down my throat all day, and it just feels like everything's just stuck right there, just as it started to go down. I know nothing's stuck there, but it just feels like it, and I feel like my breathing and swallowing and stuff is being cut off, and that can take you also to points where I hate it when it happens. It drives me nuts because you feel like you're gonna die. But I'll have moments where I forget how to breathe. I forget how to swallow something. I start to choke on something, and I'll breathe in and I'll forget how to breathe out, or I'll breathe out and forget how to breathe in, and I'll just be laying there and it's like you're out of breath, so it's like your chest and you're just getting tighter and tighter, and all of a sudden your brain kicks in and you get that little breath that comes back or goes out, and it's like, oh, it's just such relief. And it's like, just, yeah, your brain, damaged brain, like, forget how to do things. It's like my new therapist was asking me about all my routines and stuff and how I've been falling and stumbling and tripping and tipping and all that. And when I see her tomorrow, I'm going to be able to tell her as I was doing all right. I only had about 3 big episodic style falls. One was I'm just sitting there talking to my wife all of a sudden I just like collapse and just fall into stuff. It's like someone shoved you, but just your body reacting to whatever nerve impulse that the brain decided to send signals it decided to send to me. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah. But yeah, this week I had a couple episodes where I almost had a couple big falls, and it's like, oh, what the hell is this? Because I'm doing these extra therapy things. What's setting this off now? I just don't know what's going on with that. But then she asked about all my other routines, getting dressed and all that, and bathing and stuff. And I explained to her that, yeah, I can be in the shower, and all of a sudden I completely forget how to wash my hair, or how to use soap, or how to do whatever in the shower that I've been doing for 50 years, and the brain forgets how to do it. And then I also mentioned to her that there's certain times where I've been taking a shower and all of a sudden I face plant against the side of the shower. It's like my body and my arms quit working, my body just can't stand upright anymore, and just right against the side of the shower. Uh, yeah, it's just really weird when it happens. It's like you hit and your body kind of like wakes itself up and reacts to it, and you come back to the somewhat of normalcy that we have. It's, it's goofy. Some effects of MS on our body. Where are we at for time wise here? Yeah, we're 40 minutes in. I'll try and make this one kind of quick. Hopefully, and then we'll get it out of here. So I want to go over an hour on these if I don't have to. But effects of multiple sclerosis in our body. We got the brain, where we can have personality and mood changes. Right, all right, we can have dizziness, confusion, memory problems, difficulty concentrating, basically cog fog, cognitive issues, all kinds of all kinds of funky things. Our brain tells the rest of our body what to do. So when those signals are being cut off, it's like, and I haven't mentioned in a long time, but basically MS is like a quick, simple explanation that someone once said that I really liked, and I've made different versions of it. But basically, if you take your cell phone, you grab your charging cable, and your charging cable has a bunch of holes in it, and there's wires that are frayed, and you can see some of the wiring, and you plug your phone in, and it's at like 5% charge, and you leave it plugged in all night, and you wake up, and it's only up to like 18% charge because the power isn't going directly to the phone, it's shooting out all those holes and going to off into the air, and it's just being wasted energy, and it's not going where the brain's trying to get the signal to go, and it's being lost in those holes, and those holes are what we have in our brain. We have those spots in our brain where myelin sheath is damaged, affects your nerve fibers, and so our nerves are exposed in those areas, and those signals are not getting where they need to go, and that's basically what multiple sclerosis is doing to us. Our myelin sheath is being eaten away by the cells that are attacking our body, and that's what causes the damage, and the damage affects our problem, is what causes all our problems, and that's why it's a snowflake disease, and everybody can deal with it differently because there's so many different issues we can have, and some people have all, some people have very few, some people may have one, two, or none at a certain point, but yeah, it can change throughout our lifetimes, and there's no freaking cure for this disease. So if anybody ever tells you it is, just slap them. And yeah, it's just basically it's not a death sentence like it used to be per se, but it's like we got medications now to help prolong things and help with things. But when you got an MS neurologist like I do that won't give you any medications, it's like, oh, is that really helping me? And especially when we're dealing with an issue where I felt better than I did in 15 years. And then January came, and all of a sudden everything came flying back at me, and a big punch to the face. And now the doctor doesn't want to do anything to help with those problems, and that really pisses me. Gonna do? I guess just live and die. It's the only thing that we're guaranteed in life once we're born is death. So I guess I'll at least get that. Maybe I'll be able to do that right. Uh, Ears, we can have hearing loss, and my tinnitus is off the charts. It's 24/7, but that's not fully MS related. That's also lifestyle related. A lot of things are lifestyle and MS related issues. You get eyes with vision changes or loss. Uh, Lungs can have difficulty breathing. Our heart, we got an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Our mouth, speech, and swallowing problems. I've heard dental issues. I have no teeth left, so I believe in dental issues. Um, our veins, treatment can cause immune suppression. Our arm muscles, pain, numbness, tingling, impaired hand-eye coordination. Reproductive system, increased risk of infertility, sexual dysfunction. Our bones, we got an increased risk of osteoporosis. We got muscle weakness, impaired balance with our legs and stuff, and our gait issues, and bladder problems, weakened bladder and bowel control, diarrhea, constipation. Uh, but yeah, it's like vision loss, weakness, sensory changes, trouble concentrating, dizziness, vertigo, confusion, memory problems, mood and personality changes, double vision, diplopia, blurriness, or dimness, pain, loss or color vision, or loss of color vision, shaking of the eyes, nystagmus. That's when that earth just does the whole tilt and spin, and it's not happening, but I physically feel and visually feel it. Uh, Slurring words or difficulty articulating, disrupted speech pattern, trouble with volume control, stuttering, changes in pitch, nasal voice, hoarseness, or breathiness. I've been a mumbler my whole life, and people always call it out. It's like, well, I don't do it on purpose. Pain, tingling, numbness, trouble with hand-eye coordination, muscle weakness, balance issues, walking difficulties, physical activity, diet, supplements, osteoporosis, constipation, diarrhea, loss of bowel control, difficulty holding in urine, incontinence, difficulty urination when you want to, retention, urinating when you want to, I think it's supposed to say, which is called retention. Voluntary or involuntary release of small amounts of urine, which is spasticity. Spastic bladder infections, urinary tract infections, kidney infections, reproduction system can be affected, circulatory system, coronary artery disease, heart attack, myocardial infarction, heart failure, atrial fibrillation. There's just so many different things. I mean, that's not even. I mean, Christ, I could triple that list just thinking of some. I mean, they didn't even talk about sexual dysfunction, and it's like the stabbing, the tearing, the ripping pains throughout the body, skin affected pains, the Hermes syndrome where you bend your neck. It's like right now, as I'm bending my neck, I'm being electrocuted from my brain all the way to my toes, through my fingers, everything. I can just feel this electrical tingliness going through it. Sometimes it feels what I call a spinal orgasm. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's just electrified, like it is now. So many more things that I just can't think of at the moment because my brain's going into brain lock. Been talking too much, but yeah, those are a variety of things. An update on me, what's up with me. I'll let you know how things go with therapy and stuff. As it advances, keep doing the other things, and then see if any of my other doctors ever get back to me about medications that I'm out of. Really sucks because this weekend's a big weekend, and I have none of my bladder medication left. So I've been out for, I think it's been two days now, 3 days. And since I've been out, I have been peeing every half hour to an hour, and you gotta get your ass to that bathroom instantly, which sucks. And so if I'm out at an event and I gotta go, most places I'm going to don't have bathrooms. So it's gonna be basically one of those things. My life is, and as many MSers are, my life is observe and then attack style lifestyle. It's like no matter where I go, I know how far away a restaurant is. So if I have to go to the bathroom or a gas station or something like that, I know how much standing I'm gonna have to do, whether or not I got a place to sit for comfortness, uh, just all the different things that you look at for issues you may have, just in case you have them. You want to be able to get somewhere, and so I kind of like focus on those things, kind of plan my things around stuff like that. So it's like, okay, we're gonna go to this place here, and then we'll hit lunch. That way, if I have to do anything, I can do it. And then we'll go to the next couple things and then head out here to this or whatever and then get our butts home by this time. So we know that the body's going to be shutting down about this point. And it's like, yeah, we plan it out pretty good nowadays. But yeah, anything can go wrong. And then I got everything I need in the car as far as walkers and uh, canes and all the different assisted devices I need. And whether it be in summertime around the corner, you gotta start getting ready with the ice packs and all that stuff. Keep cooling equipment, cooling jacket, cooling bandana or hats or anything like that that you want to get. So definitely right now is a good time to order all your cooling supplies. Get yourself on any list for any companies that have certain cooling supplies that you might be able to get your hands on. Do it now before the heat hits, and then you're thinking, "Oh, now I got to get something." Now it's too late. You're struggling to find it. So, but yeah, that's it for today. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, all that good stuff. Like my videos, please, or don't like them if you don't like them. Whatever. Uh, at least I get a response, and that way maybe YouTube will look at me differently and actually acknowledge me as a human being. And who knows, maybe down the road I'll be able to throw some advertisements out or something. But for now, we'll just keep doing things that we're doing, and we'll let you know what's up next week with everything that's happening. And take care. Keep falling under the cull of MS, and we'll be back to you soon. Bye.